Good morning, everyone. My name is Annie M. Kosar. I am the coordinator for LGBTQ programs and services here at the LGBTQ Center at the University of Rhode Island in the Office of Community, Equity, and Diversity. Next to me, I have Paula Bernfeld. She will be interpreting for us today. Thank you so very much for coming today. What a tremendous moment for URI and for the URI campus community. It has been a long journey to get to this point with a lot of collective work, and it's quite inspiring to be here today. This event is very innovative and exciting in a number of ways, and is being sponsored by many areas of URI, including the Office of the President, the Office of the Provost, the Division of Student Affairs, and the Office of Community, Equity, and Diversity. We would not be here today without the support of each of these areas. When I came to URI, one of the most important things to me was the commitment that I saw on the website and through the leadership to diversity and it being indicated in the transformational goals. I wanted to be a part of that. At an early meeting with Community, Equity, and Diversity in one of our staff meetings, Naomi commissioned a CED branding working group, which initially included Annie Russell from the LGBTQ Center, myself, Melvin Wade from the Multicultural Center, Jerry Holder from the Office of Affirmative Action, and Racine Amos. We had this group commissioned because we had a conversation about diversity being important at URI, and that we would all like to be able to rally around that and to be able to say, what does diversity mean at URI? And each of us would be able to say, diversity means this at URI. So we began working together. We began talking about what community, equity, and diversity actually meant to each of us. We also brought in communications and marketing, including Carrie Hicks, Cindy Sabato, and Sarah Couch, who worked with us to help us figure out what an identity and a mission might look like for community, equity, and diversity. But in another meeting, Naomi spoke about this being an inclusive process, because community, equity, and diversity as an office belongs to URI and is the URI community. We should be engaged actively with our community. So in this discussion, we had an initial conversation about the technology of open space, which is the format we've chosen to include all of you in this conversation, and you will find out more about that as the day progresses. The president of URI has been fully supportive from the onset of this, and since I have been at URI, I have seen him demonstrate intense and continuing commitment and support to values of diversity and inclusion on the URI campus. Anne-Marie Vaccaro's organizational development class, full of student leaders, are here today and ready to facilitate all of the different workshops that are going to happen. Would the class stand for a moment, please, so that people can recognize you? Thank you. Thank you. So also, other areas on our campus have always been talking about diversity. In the area of the Division of Student Affairs and Academic Affairs, there are diversity groups in those areas as well as other areas on campus. In a meeting including Laura Beauvais from Academic Affairs Diversity Group, as well as the Student Affairs Diversity Group being represented by Pamela Rowland, and myself and Naomi and Annie Russell, we had a conversation about a Diversity Day related event. We wanted to come together as a community and everyone collectively work on a Diversity Day, but we realized we already had that happening through our open space event. So we decided to all collaborate together, and hence 20,000 Voices was born. Bell Hooks said, "Beloved community is formed not by the eradication of differences, but by its affirmation, by each of us claiming the identities and cultural legacies that shape who we are and how we live in the world. This is an opportunity for all of us to share our voices and to affirm our identities together." So many areas and departments of the university and so many people came together collectively to work on this event that we could spend the entire day thanking each and every one of them. But I know that all of them are dedicated to each of your voices and what you have value in and what you can contribute today. So I'm sure that they would like us to use this time and tremendous opportunity to propel URI into an inclusive future rich with diversity and committed to social justice. Please take a moment, though, to look at the many thank you slides included in the PowerPoint presentation as we proceed for the day. Everyone involved worked very hard to bring us together on this day for this important purpose. In particular, I would, however, like to recognize Naomi Thompson, Chief Diversity Officer, who commissioned the original CED Branding Working Group from which this event idea initiated, and who has been committed to having an inclusive and powerful experience for all of us. I'd like to recognize Anne-Marie Vaccaro, who has created a transformative educational and experiential journey for our student leaders from her class and for all of us. I'd like to recognize Melissa Boyd Colvin, who has graciously volunteered to be our fearless, knowledgeable, and intentional facilitator. And also Dr. Annie Russell, Director of the LGBTQ Center, who not only dedicated countless hours to this endeavor, but who on a personal level has been a vital and inspirational mentor, guide, and friend to me through each step of the planning process which brought us all here today. Her ability to inspire others in her dedication to social justice is truly powerful. I am so proud and honored to be a member of the URI community. The commitment that our president, our leadership team, our students, faculty, staff, and alumni have to community equity, diversity, and inclusion is not only refreshing, but inspires me each and every day, and I hope it inspires each of you. The dedication that all of these individuals have shown to social justice is incredible and moving. I only hope that each of us can tackle the immense responsibility and valuable opportunity we have today to make a difference in the future of community, equity, diversity, and inclusion at URI. Let all our voices be heard. Let them all matter. Thank you so much. I would now like to introduce Tom Dugan, Vice President of the Division of Student Affairs, to share a few words with you.
Good morning, everyone. Annie, that was excellent. Thank you for your leadership and work on this important event. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to 20,000 Voices, an event using a wonderful technology titled Open Space. I'm a fan of open space for a number of reasons. Number one, it doesn't cost a lot. Number two, there's really no advanced agenda. There's just broad themes that we're going to talk about today. There are 4 principles. Who comes are the right people. Whatever happens is the only thing that could happen. Whenever it starts is the right time. When it's over, it's over. And then there's another principle, which happens to be my favorite, called the law of 2 feet, where if you're in a group and you want to go to another group, you go to the other group, the law of 2 feet. Today's a very important day because much of the information generated today will be used by the Division of Community Equity and Diversity and others to help develop what our plans for the future. I say others because this event is supported by a number of folks, including the president of the university. And my understanding is he was going to speak this morning. I think he's been delayed till maybe this afternoon because he'd much rather be here, by the way, than where he's at. He's giving testimony before the House Finance Committee, as I understand it, up in Providence. It's supported by the President's Office, the Division of Student Affairs, and the Provost's Office, and of course by the Division of Community Equity and Diversity. Dr. Anne-Marie Vaccaro and her class, the second best graduate class in the College Student Personnel Program, I might add. They're here to assist. They're here to assist and will follow up and make sure We're held accountable, as only college student personnel, graduate students can do. Everyone's voice here matters. Everyone's concerns matter. The importance of creating an inclusive community, appreciating differences, and living in an equitable environment are critical to the success of our students and to this university. I've been at URI 28 years. I've seen amazing changes here for the better. There's no question we're a better university than we were when I arrived in 1985. This event is the beginning, in many ways, of the work of our new division of Community, Equity, and Diversity. And I think Naomi would say their success depends, in part, on our collaboration and cooperation and working together. I hope she knows by now that the Division of Student Affairs, which I represent, is all in. So, again, I want to thank Annie Kozar, the branding team of the Division of Community, Equity, and Diversity for putting this wonderful event together. And I think this promises to be a truly outstanding event. Thank you very much.
Good morning. My name is Annie Russell. I'm the director of the LGBTQ Center here on campus. I want to take just a minute to call your attention to a couple of things about our day. We are live streaming and are very happy to be doing so in our morning sessions and the afternoon sessions. So if you're aware of any folks that can't make it over to the Union today but would like to participate, we would really encourage you to go to the website. It's uri.edu/diversity/voices/. So please take advantage of that opportunity. In addition, all of the workshops that we have today, we'll be posting updates from all of the various sessions and all of the notes that people are taking at those sessions on the website throughout the day. So we really encourage you to go there and check for updates both today and after the event. I would also call your attention to one thing on that website that you'll find. Throughout the day, you'll have an opportunity to attend different workshops and participate in the Open Spaces event. And we would love, as we do in higher education, your feedback on how this went for you. So please go to the diversity website and fill out our very brief evaluation that we have posted there so that you can give us a little feedback on how the day went for you. In addition, we would like to announce that 1 month from today, the Office of Community Equity and Diversity will launch its Campus Climate Survey. So we've been working on this through a collaborative effort through many folks in Community Equity and Diversity and consulting with faculty and staff from around the campus, and we'll continue to do so over the course of the next month. So we look forward to getting feedback from all students, faculty, and staff about their experience on the campus, things that they would like to see improved in ways that we can make our entire campus community a more inclusive one for everyone. I would like to offer just a couple of thoughts as I introduce our new Chief Diversity Officer, although that new title's getting old at this point, isn't it? That's exciting. So one thing that I would like to say about the day, as many folks have already mentioned, the people that are in this room are the ones that matter because you're here, you're present, and that's what Open Space is about. So we hope that you will share your voice. And one of the things that has always inspired me along the years that I've done social justice work is thinking about how we really do grassroots work from the ground up. And so one of the things that's important, I think, today is a sentiment that Audre Lorde shared in her writing and in her time. And one of the things that Audre Lorde said was, we can't ever use the master's tools to dismantle the master's house. I think an Open Space Conference is a great example of ways of finding our own tools to create and build the kind of future that we would like to see at the University of Rhode Island. So I would invite all of you to find the tools that are yours today rather than others and see how you can put those tools to use throughout the day and our time together. And I'd like to take this opportunity to invite our new Chief Diversity Officer and Associate Vice President of Community Equity and Diversity to the stage, Naomi Thompson.
Good morning. And welcome, welcome, welcome to 20,000 Voices, exploring big questions about community, equity, and diversity. I am so pleased to see all of you here this morning. It's very exciting. So I thank you all for coming, and of course, I want to thank all of the key players. And I especially want to thank Annie M., as she is affectionately known, because she has really stepped up and led from where she is. Her title is coordinator. However, she took the lead for the entire unit of community equity and diversity and has done a phenomenal job of putting together today's program. So can we please give her an extra round of applause? Of course, I want to thank the leadership for being so supportive of our efforts around community equity and diversity. So in particular, as Annie very eloquently put it, President Dooley and Provost DeHaze for not only walking the walk, talking the talk, putting it in writing, but also putting resources behind it. And I think it's so important when an institution is not only committed to talking about diversity, but putting their money where their mouth is. So we are forever grateful to the leadership of the institution, VP Dugan, for your support, and you also walk the walk as well, for the entire community equity and diversity staff, some who are here, some who will be here over the course of the day, for Anne-Marie Vaccaro, and your organizational development class, and stepping up and being involved, and really just influencing how we all think and challenging us all to think differently. For all of the volunteers, for our new staff members who just joined the Office of Community Equity and Diversity in the corner there, we have Hawa and Ali, and we are glad to have you a part. As Annie, both Annies, we call them the Annies, although they're separate entities, stated, my name is Naomi Thompson, and I am deeply honored to serve you as the university's first permanent Associate Vice President and Chief Diversity Officer. And this is something that I don't take lightly. One of my colleagues, Earl Smith, said yesterday that this has been over 2 decades in the making. And so it is the voices of URI students from the past that have made my existence or the existence of a Chief Diversity Officer here. So think about the impact of your voices, and we want to hear your voices. My hope today is that together we can contribute to hearing your voices, and we can contribute to collaborating to transform the University of Rhode Island to become an increasingly more welcoming and inclusive environment where difference is cherished and valued, and discrimination is systematically challenged and denounced. We hope that not only you identify the problems, but bring your solutions to the table so that we can prepare ourselves and the students who we are charged with educating, with being prepared to enter into the global marketplace. Because you are currently in a as we are streaming, Lord knows who's seeing this and where they might be seeing this around the world. So we are part of a global society, and we have to prepare ourselves and our students to compete, to contribute, and to be a part of this increasingly diverse and global community. Some of you who listen to NPR or watch statistics may know that a recent statistic reported that in 2012, there were more children born in the United States to people of color than to traditionally majority people in this country. You may have also heard statistics about by the year 2050, that there will be more people of color in the workforce. But that's only one dimension of diversity. Daily, in Massachusetts, we've already legalized gay marriage. But this is a state by state, and they're dealing with it. And I hear President Obama talking about this issue. But I want to challenge you to think about the multiple dimensions of diversity and how they impact you as you are going to navigate your way through this increasingly global society and global workplace that we are engaged in. I challenge you to think about issues of religion, issues of impacting women. You may know that women are already out. If you look around the room, it's not difficult to see that women are already outpacing men in higher education and already outnumbering them in the workforce. So it's inevitable that you are going to deal with issues of ability and disability. We have more veterans coming to our campus than ever before, with years of us experiencing war. So I challenge you to think about issues of religious creed and sexual orientation and gender identity and gender expression, as well as social constructs, as well as the traditional notions that we may have about diversity. We must prepare ourselves for the future. We must prepare our thought leaders to live and work in this global marketplace. We ask you to lift your voice and be heard, because we're listening. Thank you.
And good morning, ladies and gentlemen, colleagues, and community members. And most importantly, welcome to our 20,000 Voices event as we gather together today to explore the big issues of community equity and diversity. Today, I stand before you very humbled to be asked to be a part of this experience. For those that I have not yet had the opportunity to collaborate and work with, I look forward to that opportunity today. My name is Melissa Boyd Colvin, and I work here every day in this building, most often with our student leaders, undergraduates at the university, many of whom will be joining us throughout the day to explore these questions as well. In addition, my history with the University of Rhode Island, like many of you in the room, has grown over a number of years. The past 2 decades have brought me to an increasing number of roles here at URI. I can remember in the early and late 90s being here as an undergraduate student and engaging in conversations very similar to what we are happening today. Being in the audience like many of you and looking around the room and wondering, what are all these posters for and what will we be doing today? What I know and what I knew then and what I know now was that I was invited to share my voice and be a part of dialogue and making change at the University of Rhode Island. And as an undergraduate, I felt valued and empowered that I was invited to be a part of the process. As a graduate student, I returned to the University of Rhode Island, and in the fall of 2001, we entered another initiative to offer open spaces to our campus. Many occurred, but at that time I was working for our strategic planning and institutional research office under the leadership of Kathy Mallon, who led us a number of times in open space here at the university. And as our campus came together to address the issues, the aftermath, and the need for community support after September 11th, we came together again to discuss important issues vital to the university. And now, as a professional member of the university, I've been asked and invited, as all of you have, to come around these tables today and to dialogue. My invitation to participate in this event perhaps came a little bit earlier than some of yours in the mail, but because of those experiences and having witnessed the successes of open space in the past here at the university, I am grateful to be part of the process and talk to you a little bit more in detail about what our collective charge will be as we go forward. As we have seen in the past 2 decades, great experiences have occurred and great progress has been made. The fact that I'm standing here as a staff member in leadership development, that I'm looking out at staff members and graduate students assigned in positions to address issues of civility, of multiculturalism, of GLBT&Q issues, and to look at the fact that we have offices for leadership, for a multicultural center, and the fact that we have been greeted by our Chief Diversity Officer indicates that the promises made of earlier open spaces, in addition to wonderful efforts to green our campus and to discuss sustainability issues, conversations that I remember being in nearly 2 decades ago, are now realities on our campus. And those wonderful innovations now are part of our charge to continue to lead forward the new directions for our university. And so, you, as colleagues and members of the university, received an invitation to be here today, and thank you for accepting that. Many of you on the website perhaps saw some of these big questions that will perhaps guide our conversation through the course of today, discussing these issues. What might inclusive pedagogy look like? How might we become allies and maintain ally skills? Can change happen? These questions, along with those that you will generate today, will not encompass every possible topic for community equity and diversity, but we will be charged to generate big questions and big thoughts and to move forward in creating plans that we will decide on as a community what might be our priorities for these topics. So please, as you begin to think creatively today, perhaps these big questions will spark your creativity and your innovation for the work that will be ahead of us in a few moments. I want to take a minute just to make sure that people are comfortable with the concept of open space. As a planner, as someone who runs events at the university, and those who know me well, I enjoy and like and thrive in structure. Today is not one of those days. At the same time, having seen the progress that comes from an event like this, I am entirely excited about what is to come. Open space, for nearly 2 decades as well, has been led by innovators in organizational change, in education, and in business, folks like Dr. Michael Herman and Harrison Owen, who have talked to us about what open space technology is. What it's really about, and what's highlighted here, is about getting things done in an organization. The dialogue and debate will be fantastic today, but ultimately we need to get some things done well and done now for our university. It's about all of us committing today to put this action into motion, to answer the call of why you chose to be here today, your passion and your desire to commit to responsible action to address these issues. We will waste no time, and we will get our work done. In addition, I want to make sure that people are focused in on those fundamentals of passion and responsibility, that we have our broad questions and our framework for our work, but we will leave openings for our imagination to run wild, if you will. One of the themes of open space is be prepared to be surprised. We will see what comes of our day and our work together. I charge you all with hearing this opening that many individuals will join us through the course of the day, and many of you will have to come and go throughout our other responsibilities during the day today. This PowerPoint will be continued to be scrolling so that we can educate others about the basic principles, and all of you will share in that task as teachers and learners throughout the course of the day. One final piece, as Dr. Dugan said, open space is very cost-effective and productive, but on a much deeper level, we're engaging to change the quality of our organization, to grow that, and to be able to empower those that are here today. It can also be fun, and I hope you enjoy the experience as well. This is an interesting choice that we face as a group, to engage in the things that we do every day, to do these things better, or to go back to simply how we have always done things. I hope that we will think creatively and engage fully in the process. So what will it look like, and what will we do for those who are less familiar? Generally, we have a very open frame. Our agenda is before us. There are 2 key working sessions, if you will, beginning at approximately 10 a.m. and another after lunch at 12:30, in which you will have choice about creating what those sessions are about and also choosing to engage in ones that are most valuable to you and your learning and the shared learning of others in the room. Our marketplace, for those in the audience to your left, will soon have what those sessions are, where they are offered, and what time they will be happening. I'll explain that a little more in a moment. We will also productively see the output of those sessions displayed and growing in content throughout the day in our newsroom, which will be to your right. Those will be in large newsprint shared for everyone in this room to view, and as you heard already, shared electronically in current time, updated on the website for those who can't join us in this room today. So keep that in mind as you look at your schedule through the course of the day. Most importantly, I hope all of you will choose to engage later on this afternoon in our convergence session as we wrap up. That is where we will hear the highlights and our action items from what comes of today, and each of you will be charged with designating your priorities for what has happened through the course of the day. And therefore, we will have a map of what has happened and a set of outcomes that will be forwarded and choose to how we engage as a community to address these established priorities. Please be sure to attempt to join us during that time and encourage others to do so. You saw and heard the discussion of the 4 principles. This structure for today is very simple and designed to be engaging. I just want to restate them for folks who have just come in and make sure that we all accept responsibility for these. We look around the room and hopefully you are excited to see colleagues eager to engage. Perhaps you might wonder or I wish the following person was here. Please accept and know that the people who are here are the right people. That the only thing, whatever happens today is the only thing that ever could have. When it starts, it's the right time, and we will start soon, and when it's over, it's over. I want to restate, as Dr. Dugan mentioned, the law of 2 feet, or the law of mobility. This is the piece where action happens and responsibility is put in place. If you choose to attend a session today and you no longer feel that you are learning or being productive, please leave. And please go to a different session where you will be productive and you will be learning and sharing your skills and knowledge. That is our shared responsibility. You may bounce from session to session, cross-pollinate your ideas, create space where it is needed and where you are best suited to use your strengths and talents. Please do so. And please encourage those who come later today that they also have that responsibility and that right to do so throughout the day. As we talk a little bit about what will happen next, in a few moments, I hope you are thinking creatively because I will ask you to begin to create our structure and our marketplace for the day. There are 2 key roles that we will hear about. One is a convener. Some of you will volunteer to lead a session, meaning you will pose a provocative or wicked question for all of us to discuss today, in which I will ask for you in a few moments to come forward, to use the blank sheet of paper that's on your table, to come forward, to write your question in marker, and we will work with you to schedule a time and location to do that. As a convener, we will ask you to come forward as we are ready to announce those sessions, to say who you are and what your session title is. That's it, please. And then we will begin our work together. There are 18 available spaces. There may be more topics than spaces available, and we ask that you work together. Perhaps your issues are similar. We could have co-conveners going forward. But as you can see in the marketplace on the top section of the wall, there are 9 available locations in this building. Some are smaller in more intimate settings for groups of 10 or 15. Others are quite large. So we will also have to adjust our space based on how many of you choose to engage in our morning sessions. And the bottom part of the wall will be those same spaces repeated in available locations for sessions in the afternoon. So perhaps 18 exciting questions will be posed for you all to choose your schedule throughout the day. Some additional hints are we ask all of you to uphold these principles and laws throughout the course of the day today. Please listen and learn and encourage an inclusive tone in your sessions where multiple voices and viewpoints are heard. That dialogue, I hope, will be exciting and innovative. In your room, the graduate students from the college student personnel will be there to capture notes electronically and in writing for you, conveners, but please work with them side by side to ensure that highlights are created throughout the day, and most importantly, before we end our time, that 2 or 3 vital action items are recorded, because that is what we will need to discuss in convergence at the end of the day. Work hard, pay attention, and be prepared to be surprised. For general participants, and you may play both role, you might be a participant and a convener at some point during the course of the day. Jump in wherever you feel moved to do so. Go to the first session as soon as we know where it's located. Work hard, pay attention, engage, and plan to be here during the convergence and voting so that those things that you talk about that you're most passionate about become priorities throughout the course of the day. Please make sure that you're available later on this afternoon. And so, it comes to the portion of the day where you have been given your collective charge. In a moment, I will move down to our microphone space on the floor and make sure that microphone is on and available to all of you. And I will ask that you select a piece of paper in the middle of your table if you would like to take on the role of convener for a session this morning, or later on this afternoon. You may post topics to both at this time. If you are so moved, come forward, write your topic in marker, and we will help you display a location. In a few moments after that, you'll hear people announcing the available options, and we will let the general audience know when it is time to head to your session. Good luck, enjoy the experience, and we will see you after session 1 for our keynote and lunch. Enjoy and let the process begin. Welcome to Open Space. Ladies and gentlemen, we will begin shortly in announcing those who have been willing to come forward as conveners with their interesting and provocative topics. And then we will work to identify the morning sessions. Again, those are posted on the top portion of the wall to my right with an available space location. Some of our conveners are already posing thoughts for the afternoon. We do still have available space, and this wall may shift and grow and change through the course of the day, so we encourage you, all of you, to come back on your breaks, to come on in and see what is being posted for topics. I'd like you, as we start this process, to think about the professional development opportunities you have attended in our conferences and challenge you once again with Open Space that usually the most exciting things happen during the coffee breaks, right? So today is a day where the entire day is meant to be engaging. Choose wisely and be prepared to engage, and I will ask my potential conveners to share their topic, and then we will post their name and session title in an appropriate space shortly. Again, please continue to do so, and then choose where you would best be served to share your ideas and thoughts. I will turn it over to our conveners to begin.
Good morning. I'm Frank Forleo. What I'm proposing for a session is Native Americans at URI. Somebody once said that a good measure of quality in any given system is how those with the least amount of voice get treated. And I think that's very true in terms of the numbers at the University of Rhode Island. And I think it's an important topic for us to look at. And I'm hoping that because it's a Native American topic that we can be in the Student Senate using a circle. Thank you.
I'm Mark Conley, and I'm proposing what role can the fine arts play in our diverse community?
Good morning. I'm Michelle Fons-Barrows, and the session title is Collaborations of Identity-Specific Centers/Resources.
Hi, good morning. My name is Erin West, and my session title will be How Can We Engage the University Community to Recruit and Retain a More Diverse Student Population?
My name's Annie Russell, and I was working with a couple of folks. A convener for a session this afternoon would be Jamie Brooks, and the title would be Gender Inclusion on Campus.
Good morning. My name is Chantel Sikos, and I'd like to propose that we discuss Rhode Island same-sex marriage, considerations for students, faculty, and staff.
Hello, my name is Bob Samuels, and the title of my session I'm proposing is Diversity Burnout. I'm tired, but the work's not done.
I don't have a catchy name. My name is Kevin Martins, and I'm proposing a multicultural organization, in parentheses, lack of funding, and how we remove those barriers.
My name is David Hayes. The session I'm proposing is called White Like Me, Undoing Whiteness and Doing Justice on Campus.
Hi, I'm Dolores Walters. I propose for the morning that we talk about recruitment of faculty and staff who are underrepresented in higher education, especially at URI. And for the afternoon, retention of faculty and staff who are underrepresented at URI. Tammy Vargas, Warner, and Barb Silva will co-convene that session in the afternoon.
My name is Alyssa, and I want to propose talking about neurological diversity, so different kinds of brain wiring. I don't really know what else I'm supposed to say.
Colleagues and community members, as you have heard, many interesting sessions have been posed, and we still do have room for others. We will invite folks to continue posting throughout the day and restate how this process works after lunch for others who would like to pose other topics or perhaps partner with conveners who have already come forward if you think your subject would be a nice complement to what is already there. For the audience, please feel free in a few moments to gather your belongings and to go look at the topics, again, that are posted and move to where those locations are noted and where you would like to engage for the day. Thank you very much.